Wednesday. Hi, Ria. Kumusta ka naman?
Hi, Bella. Ito, okay naman. So, I hope you're also uh, doing good. Ayan. So, ayan na, marami good
Mhm.
afternoon. Hello po, good afternoon sa inyo. Sherwin, Pam,
Hi.
Sarah, ayan. Meron nang nag-introduce from CDO. Hi, Sheila. Thank you so much for coming. So, ayun, again, going back to your question, no? Ah, habang naghihintay pa tayo ng participants, gusto ko lang sabihin na, okay naman ako. Yung Wednesday ko ngayon, very, I guess, accomplished in a sense. So, ayun, maybe, ayun na nga, parang with that, anyone joining here, nag-webinar habang nasa office sila, meron po ba? Kasi ako nandito lang po ako sa mumunting tirahan po namin. So, type niyo naman po sa chat kung nasan po kayo ngayon. Ayan. So, meron na si Maha. Hi, good afternoon, Maha from Tanay Rizal. Ayan, meron ngang nasa office Dela. Tingnan mo, si Mariel. Hello.
Hello, guys. Good afternoon. May nakita ako actually kanina, Ria, na she's from Iloilo. Hello, fellow Ilongga. Ilongga man ako. Pag-ari man ako diri sa Iloilo, I'm also here at home sa bahay namin sa Iloilo. So, mukhang marami ata tayong first-timers. So, if it's your first time attending Positive Workplaces pre-webinar, type nyo naman yung 1 sa chat para makita namin. First time ba kayo umattend ng webinar namin? Ayan, ayan.
Wow. Marami-rami sila, Bella. Hello, hello po sa inyo.
Hello, Sir Denny or Miss Denny. Denny Rose, babae siya. Hello po.
Oh, meron po second timer. Hello, Sydney. Ayan. Sydney, thank you so much po for coming back. So, ayan.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, alam ko, we have participants din from other countries for sure. Last time we had someone from Poland joining us. Pag 3 p.m. daw dito sa Philippines, 9 a.m. daw sa Poland. So, nakaka-attend siya ng webinar. So, meron ba dito sa webinar natin ngayon meron joining from Taiwan.
Oh,
Anyone guys outside the Philippines, type nyo naman sa chat kung saan kayo. Hello,
yes.
Miss Angeli from Cebu City.
Ayan po, meron po man taga somewhere sa kabilang continent, ganon. Kasi di ba masabi mo yung taga Poland dati, Bugs. Meron din dating taga Japan. And ngayon, I'm happy to hear from Sir Joseph Okoro, first time joining from Taiwan. So hello naman po sa inyo. I hope you're
Yes,
doing.
hello po, sir.
Ayun, marami pa. Okay, good afternoon po.
Ito
Ayan, si
yung sabi, ay sorry.
Go.
Basahin ko lang, Ria, yung nakalagay sa chat from Darcy. Di ko na po alam kung ilan, pero 3 months na akong uma-attend. Thank you po. Very consistent. So nice to know you've been watching our webinars. You've been attending our webinars for 3 months already.
Ayan,
Thank you po.
maraming salamat po. Ayan. So, I'd like you guys to know din po na we're also live on YouTube. So, we
Yes.
have Joyce, as our Learning Development Associate of PW. So, siya po yung nag-stream ngayon ng YouTube. So, mag-hi po tayo kay Joyce. She's helping out with our live streaming. So, ayan. I'll also send the YouTube live chat. Ay, yun na pala, na-send na. Thank you so much, Bella. So, you could also share this to your friends, ganyan, na gusto din mag-catch up sa webinar natin today. Ayan.
May question si Gabi sa chat. Hello everyone. We're curious, where did you learn about positive workplaces and today's webinar? Sige nga, Facebook daw, Gabi. Facebook. Anywhere else? Facebook din. Nice. Mukhang maraming Facebook. Anyone else? Did you ever hear about, from a friend? Si Remary Makatuno, from a friend daw. Facebook group HR para sa HR. Okay. Merong isa sa boss niya daw. Thank you naman sa boss ninyo na recommend na umattend kayo ng webinar namin. From a friend, from Facebook. Sige, mukhang it's time to start na. All right, to start off, thank you guys for sharing your insights. Thank you so much and welcome to the Positive Workplaces webinar community. Ayan. To start off with today's webinar, we will be talking about wellness and the culture of change, a key to successful workplaces. But before that, kanina pa kami nagdadaldalan dito, but we haven't officially introduced ourselves. So, hello everyone. I am Bella.
And I'm Lia naman, and we are training and development interns of Positive Workplaces. And in PW, our mission is to co-create cultures that will enhance the well-being of the Filipino workforce. And, some of you might ask, paano namin yun ginagawa? Well, we're able to do our mission through what we call the positivity ripple. So, ano ba yun, Dala?
Yes, that's correct. Positivity ripples actually start with you by leading the self. So one way of leading the self is through learning from webinars like this one. So by attending webinars, you enable yourselves to further foster your strengths and skills by learning concepts tulad ng positive psychology, organizational well-being, etc. Kasi when we are able to lead ourselves, we're also able to lead others. And as we learn and grow individually, we can also lead others to do the same. So after attending yung webinar namin ngayon, you can share your insights sa friends ninyo or sa workmates ninyo in your respective organizations. Each of our personal insights naturally influences cultures, and that is when positive workplace cultures can be cultivated.
Alright, thank you so much, Bella. So of course, bago po tayo magsimula, may mga konting reminders lang naman po tayo para paalalahanin kayo. So first, kung kaya nyo po, please have another device or be ready to go to another link kasi marami din po kaming mga i-chat na link mamaya. So yon. Next is, if you can also, please prepare paper and pen kung ganun po kayo nagda-notes or pwede na po kayo maghanda ng parang notepad nyo sa laptop or kung ano mang device ang inyong ginagamit. And of course, lastly, we highly encourage engagement with the audience.
Yeah.
But reminder din po, please be respectful in the chat. We're on to a good start naman po. So thank you so much for being engaging. Sana we can keep this energy until later. Diba, Bella?
Yes, tama. Para po, sa mga usually humihingi ng link for attendance, hindi po kami nagre-record ng attendance during our Wednesday free webinars. Pero, we send out an evaluation link that you need to fill out para makakuha po kayo ng e-certificate after the webinar. So, a few reminders lang regarding the evaluation form. The evaluation form will be issued at the end of the webinar for those na nasa Zoom room lang. So yung mga nanonood sa YouTube Live, hindi po kayo mabibigyan ng evaluation link. Also, when filling out the evaluation form, please remember yung acronym na TEN. Check yung title of the evaluation form if it's correct. Ensure na yung title ng form is Wellness and the Culture of Change. Also, check the spelling of your email and check the spelling of your name. Kasi auto-generated na yung pag-send ng e-certificates namin. So, kung ano yung ma-type ninyong spelling ng pangalan ninyo, hindi na po namin yung ma-edit sa e-certificate.
Yan. Thank you so much, Bella. So, meron din po tayong last-minute post-evaluation reminders. So, we'd like to reiterate lang po na if you have any concerns about evaluations or certificates, you may email us at engage@positiveworkplaces.org. And also, for context lang po, we will only be entertaining inquiries regarding our evaluations and certificates up to 1 week after the event. So, ayun po, kung may concerns po kayo, yun na lang po yung take note natin. So, yes, ayan na. Ayan na ang inaabangan ng lahat. So, again, no, Bella, for this month's theme, ano nga ba ang tema natin? So, we have resilient transformation, navigating change for thriving workplaces. Books, hindi nyo kaya. And of course, right now, we'll talk about wellness and the culture of change, a key to successful workplaces. Books. And of course, kaabang-abang guys, ang ating resource speaker, si Miss Lian Dio, the Managing Director at Human Dynamic Philippines. Bella, baka gusto mong ipakilala sa amin si Miss Lian?
Sige, saglit lang. Sobrang gusto ko yung energy mo riyan. Na-engage din ako eh. Pahilala ko muna si Miss Lian. Apart from being the managing director at Human Dynamic Philippines, Lian is also a psychotherapist. She holds a master's degree in counseling psychology from the Ateneo de Manila University. She is both a licensed nurse and a licensed psychologist. Her educational background in the medical field and professional training in psychology have oriented her towards a holistic approach in her career and in life. She believes that psychological health is an integral part of overall health, a healthy mind, and a healthy body. Her professional experience is in corporate learning and development, consulting psychology, and psychotherapy. So everyone, it's time to give the floor to Miss Lian Dio. Let's give her a round of virtual applause.
Thank you so much, Bella, Ria. Thank you, Positive Workplaces, for having us. Again, I'm Ian. I'm from Human Dynamic Philippines. So thank you, Positive Workplaces, for partnering with Human Dynamic for this session. So magandang i-mention, no? I-appreciate ang energy ni Ria and Bella. We appreciate you joining us or hosting this event for us. So, for those joining us this afternoon, magandang hapon, magandang umaga, magandang gabi for some maybe. So allow me to share my screen so we can officially start. Okay. So this afternoon, everyone, we will be talking about wellness and the culture of change. Ito yung sinasabi na the key to building successful workplaces. And most probably, some of you find yourselves in a workplace that is not as safe, as positive, as supportive as you know it could be, right? So maybe that's your reason for joining us. But I hope that another reason that you're joining us is that the takeaways that you'll be having from this session is something that you can apply also to your personal lives because personally I believe that how we are in the workplace is something that largely influences how we are in our personal lives, whether that's at home with our family or with our friends. So to officially start, allow me to invite you guys to have this quick check-in. So please access our Menti using this code here. And let's pause for a few seconds and let's have this quick check-in.
Hi po, Miss Lian. Excuse me lang po. Ayan.
Yes,
Um,
Ria. Nina.
yung PowerPoint po hindi lang po siya nag-stream kanina. But today, right now, okay na po siya. So you may
Okay,
so
thank
much.
you. So let me know lang, Bella and Rina, if it's lagging, ha? Ayan. So let's invite the others to access their mentees as well so we can have a gauge of how they are as of this afternoon. So, kamusta ba kayo as of this moment? Not just emotionally or physically, right? But also in terms of your mental health and your spiritual health. What about in your current environment? Do you feel that you're being authentic? You're able to bring your full selves? So we're seeing quite high responses. That's a good indicator, right? Now, what about your own understanding and having a workplace that has a positive and supportive workplace? Do you feel that you clearly know what that is? And lastly, if in case you don't feel so well or you find yourself in an environment na you cannot bring yourself fully or that you feel that you have that hazy understanding of what a positive and supportive workplace is, do you have that willingness to do some changes to have that wellness, to have that good health and well-being? Okay. So we're seeing quite a very responsive audience and positive at that. 4.5 says you are very willing to embrace change. Okay, great. So, these four questions are actually the four questions that I routinely ask myself. So, not daily, but I try to have it on a weekly basis or if not talaga monthly because it allows me to tune in to how I really am. It helps me fight the feeling of being overwhelmed. So, just to share with you a bit of my background, since you're also sharing your current status now, I want everyone to feel comfortable and at ease during our session. And so everyone will feel engaged, right? And ready to share in our space right now. I transitioned into mental health and wellness after college. So, right after passing the board exam, so I'm a registered nurse, I transitioned into counseling psychology because I noticed not noticed, I experienced the difficulties my dad went through when he got sick when I was in college. So he had a lot of ups and downs. Nung nagkasakit siya. I was second year in college then. And then by the time that he passed away, I feel that I wasn't able to grieve fully. Kasi if you would remember, for those on the same age as me, probably 12 years ago, after college, I feel that the society, how we are in our family, with my friends even, grieving is still not as widely accepted, diba? Mental health is not as widely or comfortably talked about as today, right? So that was a very challenging time for me, and transitioning into counseling psychology helped me um, power through that. And at the same time, it allowed me to use my strengths to help others as well. And so at the same time, I also went into corporate training and development. That's learning and development for some. And by February 2020, I joined Human Dynamic Philippines. So the photo on the right is the team that we currently have in Manila, some of my colleagues, and the tallest man there is our CEO, Eric Kong. So he's based in Hong Kong. So just to give you a quick background, guys, yung Human Dynamic, it's not a Filipino-based company. So we are just one of the regional offices here. But the headquarters is in Hong Kong and we have other presence in Asia Pacific. What we mainly do is that we partner with organizations and personalize integrated solutions for their leadership and change challenges. So, how do we do that? We do that by using this solutions wheel, wherein after a thorough needs analysis, diba, we have to really understand where the client is or how the organization really is. Then you're able to design the solutions for them. And the strategy is always this three-pronged approach, meaning apologies for the font color, but this is the three-pronged approach that we use. So first is we partner with our organization clients, wherein we develop the employees' ability to develop themselves, right? To lead themselves so that they can develop the ability to help others change. So yan yung leading others change naman. And ultimately, they together, collectively, they develop the ability to lead organizational change. And I believe this is something that positive workplaces is using as well, right? The importance of being able to do the changes, lead the changes within yourself before you're able to replicate those changes to others. Alright. So for this main session, kung meron tayong isang takeaway, guys, it's by this belief that once we enable a culture of change, we become individuals with good health and well-being. Hence, we are the strong backbone of a successful and dynamic workplace. So if this is something that you agree with or on some level there's some truth to it if you believe. You can put a thumbs up or hearts to show some agreement to everyone. Ayan. So how do we look into that statement on a deeper level? We do that by looking at these 3 points. So for this session, we will course through these 3 supporting points. First is holistic health is vital in a dynamic and thriving workplace. And second, the 6 cultural dimensions of well-being enable a healthy mental and emotional climate. And lastly, embracing change is key for good health and well-being. Allow me to invite you ulit, guys, to pause and reflect. How are you feeling right now at your work? So regardless of the environment, whether you're at the office or working at home, how are you feeling? Maybe Bella, Rina can share how you're feeling while we're waiting for the responses of others.
Hi po, okay. So, feel pressured kasi parang feeling ko po minsan nagkakaroon ako ng imposter syndrome.
Right.
Really keep up with maintain yung strategic to the best that I sometimes I pressure ko. So, ayun po. Yun yung parang minsan nafe-feel ko generally with my work, yung nangyayari po sa organization ko, ganyan. Especially if yung role ko po is something na needed yung a specific type of energy because yun din yung parang ina-ask nung role nga na yun or job. So how about you, Bella? Or maybe meron na pong marami na rin pong nakasagot, right? Ayan.
Sige, I can answer the question then. For me, marami kasi akong natututunan, like sa internship here in Positive Workplaces. Tapos, di ba pinatake tayo riyan ng Clifton Strengths Assessment. So, nasa top 5 ko yung learner para sa mga tao na, familiar sa Gallup, Clifton Strengths. So, na-enjoy ko pag may natututunan akong bagong skills, gano'n. So, I feel productive. And I'm also enjoying kasi marami din akong natututunan. So, basahin natin Ria, yung sa chat box. Kung okay lang po, Miss Lian, basahin po namin yung sa chat box. Meron daw po work overload. Meron din productive yet unmotivated sometimes. Merong sleepy, yeah. Alam ko yung feeling na yan. Merong exhausted, okay. Meron din exhausted, isa pa. Who else? Pressured, stagnant. Miss Lian, jump in lang po if you wanna read yung sa Menti naman. May nababasa po akong burnout. At din, productive but tired in a good way kasi well appreciated. Oh, that's nice. It's nice to know.
Someone said na parang they're sad, broken. So, very mixed din yung responses natin so far. Parang meron din parang sa positive spectrum na you're very motivated sila, ganyan. But I think mostly sa portion na to ng responses very nandun na tayo sa gitna, like feeling stagnant, detached, and then they feel burnt out, overwhelmed. So very
maraming overwhelmed. Marami akong nababasang overwhelmed actually. Kayo po, Miss Lian.
Hi, Miss Lian. Sorry po, nakamute po kayo. You may unmute yourself po if ever. Ayan po. Yes. So, perhaps while waiting for Miss Lian to unmute herself, nagkaroon lang po ng technical difficulties.
Thank you sa patience. Thank you guys for your patience. I think.
How about now, Bella and Mia?
Yes po.
Okay na po.
Okay, thank you so much for letting me know. Ayan. So I was just saying earlier, Bella and Ria, and to our participants joining us, na if you noticed, in a way, medyo on the negative spectrum, the emotions right now that we're seeing. But if you remember earlier, diba, we received positive responses when we asked, are you willing to embrace change for good health and well-being? So I think it's very interesting na even if most of those that shared ngayon na they're feeling undervalued, unappreciated, that they're having this work overload and unattached, demotivated, burnt out, it's good to see that some of these participants are very willing to embrace change. And that willingness, diba, to adapt to change is something that's truly admirable and vital, essential, really, in today's world. So thank you for those who shared how they are feeling. I would say that it's always important to be, again, in tune with our emotions, because even if sometimes emotions are misleading, right? Emotions are still a good way to inform us of how the environment is, and it gives us that gut instinct, that gut feel to whether we are aligned with our true selves, whether our thoughts, our actions, and words are aligned, right? So allow me to go to the next slide, which is to share with you the importance of employee wellness. Bakit ba natin ini-emphasize na kailangan in tune kayo sa emotions nyo? Bakit kailangan ng healthy, positive, at supportive workplace? And that's because probably you have come across numerous research, numerous studies, right? Saying the importance of organizational wellness, employee wellness. And it's even if there's that um, numerous amount of research, sadly to say that the programs now that tackle employee wellness is not as widespread as we would hope them to be. So allow me to share with you some research that we gathered. So this research from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention says that workers who reported being healthy were 25% more likely to have high job satisfaction and 27% more likely to be engaged in their work. So probably some of you makaka-relate, diba? For those who are feeling healthy and energized in their workplace, you feel more engaged. You have that satisfaction and fulfillment whenever you go to work or attend to your work. Another research from the Institute of Corporate Productivity says that companies with high levels of employee engagement have 20% higher sales, 21% higher profitability, and 43% lower employee turnover. Right? So I would say that these are very great statistics that really communicates to us yung importansya ng employee wellness. So it really urges us to communicate the importance of fostering a culture that has good health and well-being. And lastly, this is a study by the Bureau of Labor Statistics where wherein they state that the cost of replacing an employee is an average of 1.4 times the employee's annual salary. So I would say that this is not only a waste of financial resources, but also the manpower resources involved in replacing this employee, right? So when a positive and supportive culture is in place, employees are more likely to adopt healthy habits and feel positive about their work environment. So I hope that as we go through these slides, these statements, I hope that you are becoming more aware and becoming more reflective of how your work culture truly is. And if you still have that space, I would also encourage you to reflect also how your home culture is like, right? Because again, our behaviors and actions at home or at work gets translated to either, right? Or to or vice versa, rather. So now, as I've asked you to reflect, paano nyo ba madedefine or madedescribe ang positive and supportive culture? Pwedeng isang word or a phrase. Feel free to be as hopeful and positive. So please share in your thoughts. So meron nagsasabi, ang supportive na culture ay considerate. Yes, it's lively. There's openness. How else would you describe it? Yung iba sinasabi nila na if they are in a positive, supportive culture, they are empowered. Yes, and that they are pushed to go for growth, further growth. There's agency, autonomy, there's enthusiasm, may proactivity, right? You're being heard. You can be yourself. There's development, there's sense of belongingness. There's diversity, intersectional. Bella and Ria, if someone siguro raises a hand, if they would want to unmute and share via mic, feel free to do so and just let me know, so that we can engage the participants and they can share their thoughts.
Yes po, will do. Ayan, everyone. Sa mga gusto pong gumamit ng mic, it's your time to shine and perhaps, share a little bit of what you're experiencing right now or what how you describe na a positive and supportive culture. So don't be shy.
Thank you, Ria. Ayan. So we see that most of us have a good, clear picture of what a positive and supportive culture is. And I would invite you to have these words be at the top of your mind because we know that life really gets busy and nakakalimot tayo, right? Of what a positive and supportive culture is. That sometimes, even if that these are the things that we seek, we ourselves sometimes forget to represent these same things, right? So it's good that we are being direct and vocal with what a positive and supportive culture is. So thank you very much for sharing. So please just keep those handy. So let me share with you just some few factors of what contributes to a positive workplace culture and employee wellness. So these are things that are highly overlapping naman with the things that you've shared earlier. So let me just reiterate. So when we say there's a positive workplace culture and that there is good employee wellness, merong supportive relationship, whether that's between colleagues, between peers, or between a supervisor and a subordinate, right? And that's across all the departments.
Hearing this
Yes,
po,
Ria?
medyo
Hello, apologies, Ria. Your audio is
choppy
choppy. I
right
can't
now.
hear. Uh-oh.
Okay, nawala. I think may umuulan daw ata sa kanila ngayon, Miss Lian. Chat ko na lang po siya.
Okay. But how is my audio, Bella? Okay naman?
Audio ninyo, ano yan? Naririnig ko.
Alright. Okay, thank you. Sige, let me know lang, Bella. Alright, so let me just continue. So when we say open communication, it's having this ability to share any ideas, any thoughts, suggestions without having that fear of being laughed at, right? Or being ridiculed sa mai-share natin. And also having that work-life balance. Although for some, it's work-life integration. So it's different. When you say work-life balance, there's clear delineation or boundary between your work life and your personal life. But when you say work-life integration, my mesh or my marrying of tasks in a given day, right? So either way, it promotes that positive workplace culture. Next is having that opportunity for growth and development. Earlier, I saw na some of you mentioned that a positive and supportive workplace culture has that growth and development. So that's very true. And lastly, it's enabling a sense of purpose for the individual employees, meaning hindi lang puro company goals and company mission and vision, right? But also, how is it related or how is it relevant and valuable to the individual employees? Kasi doon lang natin truly matatap ang fulfillment at satisfaction ng individual employees. Now, we move on to looking at sustainable workplace. Ano ba ang sustainable workplace? So on your slide, choose what a sustainable workplace is based on your understanding on this phrase. So go ahead and share what you think, your idea what a sustainable workplace is. Kung merong gustong mag-unmute, please feel free to do so because the phrase sustainable workplace is something that we can talk all day long, right? Especially now with the UN developmental goals. So if you want to share and elaborate, please feel free to do so. So yeah, let's wait for the others. So what do you think a sustainable workplace is? Sa environment ba yan? Anong connection yan sa employee wellness natin? So we see that the choices that could possibly describe a sustainable workplace is that it's prioritizing long-term impact over short-term gain. Next, it's maintaining productivity over time, supporting the long-term success of the business. And lastly, it's incorporating the needs of the people around you. Let's just wait for a couple more people to answer. So we'll get a gauge of how you are understanding ano nga ba ang sustainable workplace. All right, so we see that most of you answered that a sustainable workplace is something that incorporates or considers, values the needs of the people around you, meaning yung mga empleyado, even the bosses, right? But in fact, when we see sustainable workplace, it's all of these three things, meaning it's not just the environment or just the people, right? But it's the people, profit, and the planet, meaning having a sustainable workplace benefits everyone. Kahit hindi siya agad-agad or immediate na nakikita, it's something that's to be seen, fulfilled, or rewarded in the long run. Kaya makikita nyo, in the first choice, it's prioritizing long-term impact over short-term gain. And that by doing so, we are able to maintain productivity over time, sustainable kumbaga. Diba? Supporting the long-term success, not just the organization as a whole, but the individual employees kasi we are able to invest resources into their own growth, into their own development. And lastly, largely related to the second one, which is incorporating the needs of the people around you, meaning you are able to take into consideration how your individual employees are and not seeing them as a collective whole na itong team na to ay ganyan or isang department ay ganito, right? But we are able to appreciate and see the individuals as they are. And by doing so, these three things, we are able to create a sustainable workplace. And we look at the sustainable workplace because it equates with our well-being. We are able to promote good health and well-being sa ating mga empleyado kapag ang practice natin sa kumpanya ay sustainable practices. So how do we achieve that? And we achieve that by taking into account these 6 cultural dimensions of well-being. So we will look at safety, community, trust, autonomy, purpose, and growth. Alright, so I'm sure madami na sa inyo ang familiar dito. So allow me again to invite everyone to access our Menti and answer, how strongly do you agree to the following statements? Ayan. So siguro for some, while you're answering, I can invite again my new favorite, si Bella and Ria, to share their thoughts, their experiences to these 4 statements.
Basahin ko po.
Okay, sure.
Some ideas without fear of being laughed at. I can fully admit my blunders without being scrutinized or punished. I bring my whole self to work. Personal insights ko po. Yes, naka-experience po ako ng working with a boss na magaling siyang makinig. Very, siguro kasi nanay din siya. So, she's also very towards me. It was my previous workplace as well. Yun, I could share problems with her. Actually, Miss Lian, kahit hindi ako aware ng problem, nararamdaman niya pag may problema ako. Siya mismo yung
Oh,
akin. Ang tahimik mo ngayon, Bella, ano yung problema? So, minsan naaalala ko din siya na nag-reach out siya sa akin. So,
that seems like a very good boss, Bella. You're blessed to have that boss.
Hi po. So, well, ako naman po, I have also, meron po akong parang point of comparison kasi I've experienced na I was in a place I can really bring my whole self to work. So, with that, parang I've noticed na in these times, um, I'm really happy or like, I feel like I am at my best. So, yung question mo na, di ba, parang who are you when you're at your best? So, malaking bagay po na, ayun, someone said in the chat, there's really a difference between a boss and a leader. Na if you're surrounded with the kind of, if you're in that kind of leadership na you're, yung thoughts mo welcome and you don't fear if tama ba yung, or tama or mali, or like being anxious with your inputs in general, mas collaborative po yung environment. Talagang mas encourage din po yung culture na parang nagpa-foster nga po yung, or nag-thrive nga po yung like, whatever it is, yung goal ng organization. Versus kapag parang hindi ganun ka-transparent or like hindi po yung like, perhaps yung leader or yung boss. So medyo doon po nagkakatalo din yung, I've also felt din po kasi yung blue number. And also affected how I also parang receive my work or yun po. So yes, maybe I think there's also people. Oh, someone is raising their hand po.
Oh, yes, go ahead. You can invite them in, Ria. Or you can hear from the others.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. So, there are different kind of boss and different kind of field work. But for me, I'd rather to like want to have a boss that act like a leader instead of being a boss. Kasi yung mga leader kasi they are more likely hearing the thoughts of other people even na mas mababa yung what do you call this one, the position, ganon. So in that way mas nagiging collaborative yung work and mas nagiging successful. Actually, mas mataas yung percentage na maging success yung mga ginagawa nila. Kasi andun pa rin yung respect but at the same time, hindi sila nape-pressure to do their work. So, yun lang naman po yung sa akin. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry.
Queenie. Tama po ba yung
The
pronunciation?
name? Corinne?
Is it Queenie po? Yung pronunciation. I think, yeah, Queenie Mayor. There's also another one, Miss Lian.
Queenie,
She,
okay. Thank you, Queenie. Sige. Let's have the other one.
saglit. One.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Sherwin. Ayun, I resonated with one of the questions, sabi dito. I can share my ideas without fear of being laughed at. There's just one time when I was invited to join a meeting with like senior managers. So it was very intimidating environment. Syempre, you're in the company and invited to a meeting
Right.
with senior managers, and we have this brainstorming moment about us an activity for the company. So at first I was intimidated and scared of baka hindi nila magustuhan yung mga ideas. But I think one thing that I can share with everybody is first you have to believe yourself bago sila maniwala sa iyo. You have to be confident with your idea before bago magkaroon ng confident yung ibang tao sa iyo. So it's a big factor that you should know how you will carry yourself during a discussion, and just believe in yourself regardless kung gaano ka weird yung idea mo, kasi as long as you presented it with like full confidence, they will believe in you. And again nga, parang bottom line, you just have to believe sa idea mo, sarili mo, bago maniwala yung ibang tao sa'yo.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sherwin. Now that reminds me of the importance of being able to be truly authentic, diba? Now when you're able to bring your full whole self sa trabaho, that's because you're confident and you feel supported by the people around you. So maybe it could be a factor if you're not able to be as convinced as your own ideas or thoughts, diba? Maybe the environment is a factor, right? And that's for some lang naman. So again, thank you, Sherwin. Yes?
Another one po.
Okay.
Naka-raise na. Thank you, Sherwin. I'll unmute Darius. Ayan.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
A little background. I really love this session every Wednesday. Actually, I'm a company nurse in a corporate setting here in BGC. But because of the topic, it's really more inspiring, leading to mental health. Actually, before this, we have session with Dole. My sharing about this is because there is really a big difference from a corporate setting because my background is a clinical. I've been working abroad, and we are always heard because the culture is regardless of who you are, a new nurse, a senior nurse, a head nurse, a clinical director, you are there to listen to each one of your team. But as I experience and as I have noticed in a corporate world, there is a big gap between a leader, or you call that a boss because it's for me it's generic. It's just how you engage it. There's a big gap from a working class to a big boss, and sometimes they're hesitant. That's why I wanted it. I'm started to have that energy and motivation that there is no gap between us. We are all workers. Our boss, they're just instrument of God to man this managerial stuff. But because we Filipino, we are this. This is the culture. And we have to break this little culture. Now, if that is a boss, that's a big boss. They are
hierarchical.
They are in the pedestal. They're untouchable. They are like this, and they will take this against us if we'll say something. But again, we will motivate little by little. That's why that's why I'm really motivated to work now. We're in the Philippines. Actually, I'm a retired nurse already.
Wow.
I give already my life to as an OFW. Now I'm seeing myself as a productive in embracing a positive change in workplace.
Yeah.
So we have
That's
really
very inspiring.
to engage. Thank you so much for the team. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Darius. And I would have to agree, still the hierarchical culture, diba? Yung sa Pilipinas na traditional tayo with the positions, that's still a factor at play as of now. But I would say for some organizations rather, it's not so much of a thing. So it depends again with the organization you find yourself in. But I would say, Darius, that we are blessed to have you back in the Philippines and for you to be serving back in the Philippine workforce, even if you're retired, diba? But I admire your energy and yung passion mo with the importance of having good leadership in order to overcome this gap that you are seeing. Again, thank you, Darius. And if I can just go back to Queenie earlier also, it's good that you also mentioned yung difference nga ng boss and leader. Leader meaning those who have that good interpersonal relationship with the employee and not just like that of a boss na one way or very directive and for some dictatorial way of managing the team. All right. So thank you for everyone's sharing. Meron pa bang hahabol, Ria and Bella?
Hi, Sian. Actually, meron din po tayong responses sa chat box. So let me share it with everyone. So I saw here na Jesus Villanueva said, working environment has a big impact to employees. If the employees are not happy anymore, there will be an impact to their performance. And truly, yun din po talaga yung parang naging theme nga sa mga answers natin, right?
Mhm.
Also, Shanika Gallo said, leadership always requires communication for the boss and employees to have a good relationship.
Mhm.
Truly, kasi yun din po yung point nyo kanina, right, Miss Lian? Yung kahalagahan ng open communication. So, yes.
Correct. Thank you, Ria. Ayan. Thank you sa mga nag-share.
Thank you so much, everyone. Ayun po. Ay, sorry. May mga humabol po.
Sige, go ahead.
So, Miss Glenda May said, I'm a nurse by profession as well. Shifted to an office worker and I totally agree with you, Darius. All right. That's nice to hear naman po na some of you can relate din po to Mix Darius experience.
Mhm.
Larry Rivera naman said, super lucky to have a boss who treats us like a family. True. Oh, meron po tayo medyo mahabang entry from
Okay, go ahead.
Margo. Sabi po niya, I will just share mine na lang here. Well, I
Mhm.
didn't agree that I can talk to my boss whenever I have problem. Because in the first place, problem varies to personal and work related.
Mhm.
When I open up my problems to him, he will just think that everything is or will have effect to work. So instead, I'll just provide solutions to my problems, either work related or personal. After
Mhm.
all, if there's a problem at work, he'll let me solve it anyway. Ooh, what are your thoughts, Miss Lian?
Ako, very interesting yan, Ria. Pero like what you said, it really depends, diba, on the specific context that this situation has or brings to the table, right? But again, open communication is always something to be considered, regardless of the problem at hand, regardless of the leadership style. Yung the way we communicate, whether as leaders or as employees to the leaders, it plays a factor to how we are able to engage or tackle this problem at hand. I'm not sure if I answered the question, Ria, no? Maybe you can invite the person to unmute for the last sharing on this slide, if she or he wants, no?
Hi po, if you're comfortable po, you may speak po. But for now po kasi wala po ulit nag-raise ng hand, Miss Lian. So maybe it was really a sharing moment for the chat.
Right, okay. Sige, that's totally fine. All right, thank you, Ria. So let's all move ahead to the next part, which is how to promote psychological safety. So earlier, diba, we spent quite some time talking about your level of agreement to those statements. And that was important to look at because that's what is needed ngayon, yung psychological safety. So this term, psychological safety, is from Amy Edmondson. She is a Harvard business professor, and she says that psychological safety is being able to admit that you're not perfect, that you're able to ask for feedback, especially for the leaders, diba? Even if you are a leader, a boss, or in the top management position, by admitting some of your blunders, your mistakes, that fosters a culture of safety because you, as a leader, you show your humanness, diba? And that helps build strong personal relationships kasi you're not this person that cannot be touched or cannot be joked around with, right? But you are a person with this position and that you are still a person that can be trusted and be comfortable with. And when we say psychological safety, ito yung we make everyone feel like they are part of the club. Hindi yung nasa loob sila ng kwarto, pero hindi sila invited sa conversation or they would feel left out sa conversation. And sadly, that still happens now in workplaces where all the individuals are adults. You would say na bullying, harassment, rude behavior are all just in the school because of the younger kids. But sadly, for adults, it's still very much true, right? And another thing, we design participation to include everyone, wherein there are no barriers at walang limiting mindsets. At okay, we communicate that it's okay to let it all out, that we are able to be transparent and be direct with our thoughts and opinions, with, of course, respect and courtesy still. And that's having that candor and transparency. And when you know that you are working within a community of people who share a common purpose, your individual purpose within the organization is more defined. So imagine that you have that psychological safety at work and you feel that you are part of a community, then you will feel that fulfillment, that higher job satisfaction at work because your individual purpose is aligned with the greater purpose. Yun yung sinasabi natin na may alignment with our beliefs, our values, our thoughts, our actions, and our words, and with the work that we do. And that's what we all hope to have, right? Whether or regardless of the role, industry, type of work environment that we find ourselves in. So we talked earlier about having that psychological safety, diba? Being able to be transparent and open and considerate. How else do you think can we build community in the workplace? In the workplace that you find yourself in? Ano yung nakikita nyo na pwede pang magawa so that there's better community or a better sense of community? So some are saying and sharing through influence, inclusivity, and being empathetic to the emotional needs of workers, by having a shared goal to achieve and empowering one another. Again, if we have some people na gustong mag-unmute and to share, we would really appreciate it, as similar to those who shared earlier. It's inspiring to hear and it's enlightening, diba? To hear your thoughts so we can all learn together. So some are sharing, balik tayo sa how do we build community. It's sincerely caring for the employees, diba? We are genuine sa mga personal needs. Merong proper communication, it's being sensitive to one another. The higher ups lead by good example, modeling by behavior, acceptance of everybody's limitations and teamwork. Be aware of our privileges and use them to empower others instead of invalidating the experiences of other people. There's shared responsibility with humor. being a good example. There's radical candor, building connection through communication, have an open communication to others. So if these are the things that you are saying na kailangan natin to build community in the workplace that we have in, can you give us a thumbs up or a heart if this is something na nagawa mo na on your own?
Hi, Leah.
Kumbaga, yes.
I also got an anonymous tip in our box. So let me read it to you. I think
Okay.
there are entries coming in that parang even if the bosses try to be friendly with their staff, ang nangyayari daw is they have the feeling na naaabuso naman yung kindness ng boss.
Mm.
So even if they are trying to work on the barrier, parang the respect is lost in the process. Yeah.
It's always very tricky, Gabby, no?
Yeah, I know.
You
Go.
extend kindness, generosity, pero yung iba, sadly, diba, they take advantage naman. So that's where wisdom and experience come in, right? And the leadership na kailangan natin i-build, regardless of our role, right?
I think Queenie also wants to answer again.
Okay.
I'll ask her to unmute.
Hello po. Sorry, I was not able to introduce myself earlier. So, hi, I'm Queenie from PUP. So, how do we build a community? So, in building a community, we need to strengthen the connectivity of each and every one. We need to respect them, and of course, embrace the diversity. It is really important na, we value them, makita natin yung worth nila, and we respect them. So I think that's the essence of building community. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Queenie. So it's very similar to the others as well. And again, this is a testament. Now we all know, right? How to build community, how to be there for each other so that we have a better community for everyone. But I would encourage na, is this something that you're able to be intentional and deliberate about, diba? Because it's different when we just know it by mind or by heart, but it does not get translated to our actions and to our behaviors. So merong gap, right? So I would encourage you to further challenge yourself, diba? That having such wisdom, having such knowledge about how to build a community, how then are you able to actually make it happen? Okay? So beautiful responses. Thank you so much for sharing. So let me just, yes.
And someone
There's a
raised
question.
their hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Sino
May
first
question.
natin? Yung question sa chat or yung nag-raise ng hand? Unahin na lang po natin yung nag-raise ng hand. I'll unmute na lang po. Hello? Yes,
Hi.
hello.
Parang
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Actually, I'm the one who also chatted in the chat box.
Okay.
Yes. So the main problem is that whenever there's a change in leadership, if ever the company, so if ever there's parang 10 years yung isang leader, tapos magbabago lahat, entirely different yung leadership, doon kasi usually problem, diba, na parang kapag nag-change yung leadership, iba na naman yung leadership style, tapos medyo adjustment, kailangan mag-adjust ka, every time there's adjustment, doon nagkakaroon kasi ng problem din within the community and the culture dun sa office. So, paano po kaya parang maging resilient on that, and how do we come about it po?
I didn't get your name. Sorry.
Graciosa po ba yung pag-pronounce?
Graciosa.
Yes. Thank you.
Graciosa. Yes, that's very important, no? Kasi leadership transition happens very often, diba? And totoo na when that happens, the individual employees sometimes gets lost in the rhythm of all those things happening. And ideally, if we live in a perfect world, Gershosa, no, it's the organization's responsibility to lead the change as effectively as possible, no? So it's from the top to bottom, meaning the leaders themselves mismo, they're able to communicate clearly and transparently and as early as possible na merong transition na mangyayari, right? That's leading effective change. But so that ideally that happens, they're able to lead effective change by having that proper communication, implementing that change by providing resources, support, whether via trainings, workshops, reading materials, having coaching sessions, right, to the individual employees. But if I can also say, in reality, what's also needed is for us as individual employees to be flexible and adaptable to change. Na if in the worst case, the organization is unable to provide such support to give that, to manage that change as effectively as we would have wanted, then tayo sa sarili natin, sa own simple way natin, ano yung pwede natin magawa so that we are able to adapt to the changes happening around us. Kaya if I can emphasize, Graciosa, no, ang title natin is Wellness in the Culture of Change dahil we are unable to be healthy and foster good health sa sarili natin if hindi tayo willing at adaptable to the changes happening around us. Okay? So very crucial talaga yung individual capacity natin to change. I hope in a way that answered the question, Graciosa, no? Okay. So Gabby, Bella, and Ria, let me know if we have some other questions or chats.
Oh, we actually have a comment sa chat. At I read it na lang. I agree with Miss Graciosa. Our company also got a new management, and our employees cannot easily adapt the transition of our new management because they got called quote unquote over familiarity. Tas sabi din ni Miss Mary Grace, change is inevitable, kaya mataas dapat ang agility at adaptability. Yes.
Yes, thank you for emphasizing the need for agility and adaptability. Pero again, that's why it's important for organizations to, of course, partner with positive workplaces or human dynamic, diba? So that the organization is equipped and empowered. Paano ba mali-lead effectively yung change, yung transition para sa betterment ng organization and ultimately ng individual employees because it's hard, no? Even if we all know that we all have to adapt to change, it's still hard once we're there. Okay, thank you so much. So allow me, everyone, to proceed to our next part, which is a collation of our thoughts on how we build a community. So we build community by making the new person feel welcomed. And if I can add, it's not just the new person, but it's this culture na kahit gaano nakatagal yung isang tao, feel pa rin nila na engaged sila at parte pa rin sila, di ba, ng community sa trabaho. It's celebrating and recognizing each other's accomplishments, having everyone have a voice, encouraging the use of multimedia such as photos and videos because of the current social media presence, right? Being social and promoting the community offline. Meaning, even if you're outside of work, whether you're work from home, hybrid, or fully on site, you're able to connect still with each other at pakiramdam nyo ay connected pa rin kayo kahit hindi na kayo magkakasama. Pero not to the point na burnt out wherein you still reach out to each other about work, right? And so the next cultural dimension for well-being is trust. So kanina, we already talked about safety, we talked about community, now we talk about trust. Bakit pumapasok ang trust? Ano ba ang importansya ng trust sa wellness ng culture? So when we say that there is a lack of trust in teams, mapapansin natin that there are problems with information sharing. We are not able to decide as best as possible kasi hesitant tayo magtiwala, hesitant tayong maniwala sa sinasabi nila, sa facts nila. And so we are unable to have the best solutions to the problems. And for some, if there are mistrust or distrust rather, nasasayang yung panahon at resources instead of being able to fully tune in and interact and brainstorm, right? Because you have that psychological safety to throw ideas of each other, there is no progress happening kasi you simply do not trust each other. You simply do not feel comfortable with one another. But if we want to have this trust, if slowly gusto nating ma-build itong trust, then we have to have benevolence. And to put it simply, it's having this kindness, yung kabutihang loob, or having good intentions to the people around us. So being kind and willing to help others is more important than showing off one's skills or knowledge. So sometimes, maybe for others, they would want to get ahead, get or have that visibility at work that rather than helping another person or spending your own resources to help the other person, you focus on just yourself. So that's in contrast sa gusto natin na benevolence and building trust. And if I can share this idea on how other people judge your trustworthiness, and it's based on these three factors. Ito yung ability mo, kung gaano ka competent at katalino, knowledgeable sa trabaho mo. Pangalawa, how your integrity is, meaning aligned ba ang sinasabi mo sa ginagawa mo at if I can say your values, right? And lastly, yung benevolence, how much you have other people's interests at heart. So these three factors are key whenever a person looks at your trustworthiness bilang individual. And what ties all of that together? And that's tied by our consistency, di ba? Kasi pwede mabait ka ngayong araw pero sa susunod na buwan, ibang tao ka na, right? Or for example, you are aligned with your words, your actions, your commitments, but then after a few months, after a year, after a few years, hindi na ganon, di ba? So there's no predictability, walang consistency. And so, hindi natin fully napagkakatiwalaan yung tao na to. Kasi, if we can use the word random ang behavior nila, random ang commitments nila, ang ability nila to fulfill our commitments. So these are the 4 factors that you can keep in mind if you want to build trustworthiness as individuals or when we help other people build their own trustworthiness. So another example for this concept is the resume approach. Meaning, paano mo ba pinapatiwala or binibuild yung kredibilidad mo bilang tao? Ang binabato mo ba sa ibang tao ay yung natapos mo o yung previous mo na nakayanan? Or is it on other things, right? If you're the kind of person wherein you put all those weight on your degree or on your physical attributes, your network even, then you are basing it on your ability or your competence. And that is the least important factor in building trust. So if you will look at the diagram at the bottom, you see na kapag nabali ang abilidad o competence mo, you still have that integrity at benevolence. Makapagkakatiwalaan ka pa din. Pangalawa, kapag yung integridad mo naman ang nabalik for a time, meron pa ring pagtitiwala dahil you have that good, genuine interest at heart for other people. And so there's still that trust. However, if itong benevolence mismo ang wala, kahit meron kang, let's say, integridad o abilidad, it doesn't make such difference because you do not have the good, pure intentions for other people. So I would say it's kind of sadly useless, diba? To be so good at the things that you do, but you wish ill on other people. So, in simple words, yung kabaitan o benevolence ang gusto natin whenever we want to build that good health and well-being. So, aside from those, no, I know that we mentioned competency, integrity. Can you think of other things, ways, behaviors, actions that can help us be more trustworthy? Okay, so let's look at your ideas. We can have one more sharing. If someone wants to unmute, we can do so, I believe. Bella and Ria, you can let me know if we are almost running out of time. So we see transparency, correct? So yan yung candor na gusto natin. Anything else? Okay, accountability, avoiding gossips. Reliable. Okay, being in constant communication or in open communication, rather, with your boss, with your leader. Being truthful. Acknowledging your commitment, correct? Being able to admit mistakes. Being consistent, right? Okay. Again, similar to earlier, I would encourage you that I believe that we all have such wisdom, diba? Such understanding to how you're able to build trustworthiness sa sarili natin. And I would encourage you, how are you able to practice this or put it in action so that you are able to develop that trustworthiness or help others build their trustworthiness? Kasi collectively, it helps foster that culture that we want.
Hi, Miss Lian. I think some people are also chatting in our chat box right now. So, by Darren Javian, sabi po niya, honor your commitments. Truly, also falls under consistency, which is also flashed here in our screen. So, Alfonso
Yes.
Sanyas said, honesty daw po. And this is also answered by Krister. And sabi naman ni Leia, authenticity. Stop saying things you don't mean.
Yes.
Ooh.
I agree. These are great reminders, you know, para sa ating lahat. For me as well.
Yes po. Just allow also said respect boundaries. So, ayan po. Interesting chat choices. I think of everyone, reminder, if you're comfortable, you can raise your hand po, and also if you'd like to expound more sa mga naging sagot nyo, or if you have any experience or that you'd like to share that worked for you, feel free to also share. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ria. So maybe I can share this already, Ria and everyone, no? If this is something that you would hope to build more sa sarili mo, these are some meta skills for trust. So some tips, strategies that you can do. You can develop a habit of active listening, yung smiling more and having that eye contact with people, remembering their names, noticing them, and giving sincere compliments, hindi yung nakasanayan na natin na compliments, right? Developing that reputation for taking care of people and sacrificing your own interest for the good of others. Although at a healthy boundary still, right? Giving benefit of the doubt to people, taking responsibility for negative externalities that you create and make them right. Yan yung accountability na may nakita ako kaninang nakapag-share. And also practicing intellectual humility. Okay. So allow me to go to the next part, which is autonomy and well-being. Yung importansya ng ownership, right? And autonomy to our own selves and its relation to well-being. So earlier also, I remember someone shared the importance of autonomy in a supportive and positive workplace culture. And so when we say there's autonomy, may agency, merong increased sense of control, merong improved self-esteem because you take ownership of the work that you do, you take pride in it. And so that helps give you greater motivation, that helps reduce stress, and ultimately it improves relationship within peers and even with your bosses. So in your case, in your work, anong sa tingin niyo pwede niyong magawa to strengthen your autonomy so that you are better in a better state of health and well-being, and hence you are more empowered to help foster a culture of wellness. Okay, so let's just have a quick sharing. I'm trying to be mindful of our time. So some are saying setting boundaries, have more initiative. Knowing your rights, I agree. Build trust with your team. Self-care. Respecting others. Dependability, mindfulness, accepting flaws, establishing self-confidence.
I can see yan. Someone also said po in the chat na, yes, we call people by name, smile, and greet everyone regardless of their status. So, again, po.
I agree. Thank you, Ria, for emphasizing. Very important. It helps people feel accepted, diba? Educating yourself and being confident, acknowledging your choices and also give others choices. Be mindful sa mga sinasabi. I agree. Knowing your worth. Wag bida-bida. Okay. So reflecting on these things, knowing how we can strengthen our autonomy, reflecting on how we show up sa trabaho natin, whether virtually nating nakakatrabaho yung mga kasama natin or minsan lang sa isang linggo, no? How are you able to positively impact the world? So reflect on your work, on the way you've been thinking, the way you've been learning. So this week lamang, would you say that you have positively impacted the world? You can put a yes, a phrase, a no, maybe, a thumbs up. Okay, so we're seeing thumbs up. So some are saying naging empathetic sila. Yung iba nagsasabi hindi pa po, pero I'm going there. Yes, it's a journey. I agree with you. By improving myself to be able to serve my clients better, I have mentored the next generation of workers. Wow. Nakaka-inspire ang group of participants this afternoon. Thank you for sharing. So some are saying sila ay benevolent, improving and learning every single day. So embracing that learning mindset. Great. And then another one shared, I'm not really at my peak right now. I'm trying my best to be better, but there is something wrong with me. So we would encourage, diba? Hopefully you will be in touch with someone so that you can get the support that you need, hopefully. And then some are saying, asking suggestions for my team members to make them feel that their ideas are important. I think I should be more aware of my own thoughts, words, and actions. Doing right at all times, even no one sees you. Yes, integridad. By spreading factual information to coworkers and encouraging them to participate in relevant causes around the world, spreading good vibes and being compassionate towards others, feeling more motivated today, and lastly, guarding my integrity and not minding how people negatively react on how I see things. Okay, great sharing, great reflection, and I invited you to think on this because the next part is on purpose. Looking at your purpose, looking at what drives you. Now, this is a statement maybe some have thought of before or some have not yet. So I won't ask you to share anymore, but I urge you to take a photo, a screenshot, so that when you have your downtime, you can reflect on this. So the statement is, I want to blank. This is your intended impact. For who? Diba? Sino yung audience mo? Sino yung gusto mong magkaroon ng positive impact? And by doing what? Through what? Okay, so how and what will you do? So, due to the time constraint, I'm sorry that we will have to go to the next slide. But again, I hope you find the time to sit through this statement. All right. So now we look at this one. This one I'll encourage you to share. So share your ideal growth and development at work. So this can be a phrase or just a word. Ano ba yung gusto niyong growth and development at work? So again, we talked about safety, community, trust, purpose. Ngayon, we look at growth and development. So ano ba ang gusto niyong growth or progress sa trabaho? So some are sharing, accepts me for who I am. There's promotion, right? There's efficiency. There's openness to learning, probably. There's fun. There's camaraderie. It's impactful, stable, respect, fulfillment, continuous. There's compromise. Okay. So some are adding their psychological security, don't be lazy, merong support, merong empowerment, may motivation, skills, new knowledge, courage to let go. Very interesting thoughts on growth and development. Ako, if I can share, when I see your ideal growth and development, I just thought of conferences and courses. So it's interesting to see that for some, there's an emotion pala, no? When they think of growth and development. All right, this is great. Thank you for sharing. So again, similar to the other sharings that we had kanina, I encourage you to reflect paano nyo na i-exemplify, na i-execute itong ideal growth and development nyo. Are you doing something about it? Are you willing to do something about it so that it comes to fruition? Okay, thank you so much. So please allow me to go to the next slide. I asked about your ideal growth and development because for some, even if they know, di ba, kung anong gusto nilang progress sa trabaho, there's always that barrier, that resistance. And these are the common development challenges. Yung iba, kailan ba nila gagawin ito? Right? When? Or who? Sino magtuturo sa akin? Or sino mag-i-invest sa akin? Right? Next is what? Ano ba yung gusto kong i-develop sa sarili ko? For some, they are at a loss of what skill they want to improve in and what they want to focus on. And lastly, where there are no career development opportunities where I work. So you will see that these common development challenges ay very limiting at restricting ang mindset, right? And it's not the perspective that we want if we want to be those individuals who embrace that culture of change. So if we want to be those people, then we can tackle these common development challenges by doing these things. Kapag ang problema o ang challenge ay kailan ba, then maybe you can underwhelm yourself and just start with a 5-minute mind map. Mag-brainstorm ka lang, you can write things down or talk to a trusted friend. If it's sino or who, increase your sideways support. Pwedeng hindi naman yan experienced or senior na boss. Pwedeng kaibigan mo, pwedeng younger than you even, right? Next, if it's where, then prototype your progression, meaning try to be resourceful and just try out the things on hand, those things that are easily accessible at your fingertips. And lastly, if it's what, kung hindi nyo alam kung ano yung i-develop nyo, then maybe you can create your learning navigator. When we say learning navigator, this can be like a simple list of the things that you currently are equipped with and the things that interest you. And you find the sweet spot of where you want to focus your skills in. And to slowly wrap up our session this afternoon, I would like to share with you this quote that we often share and emphasize by Charles Darwin, na it is not the strongest species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the most responsive to change. If you will notice also that sailboat yung picture natin, kasi the sailboat or the people manning the sailboat are able to adapt to the changes of the current, diba? And that's the important thing. We are able to embrace change no matter what gets thrown to us. And by saying it doesn't mean that it's easy. It's actually very hard, but it's doable, right? With the right resources, with the right support, with the right environment, even. So by embracing change, it allows us to have that good health and well-being, and we are better people because we are stable, we are healthier, we are able to be better partners, better daughters, sons, colleagues and friends, right? And by doing so, there's reduced stress at anxiety. Mas engaged tayo, mas fulfilled tayo sa ginagawa natin. At further na-enhance yung adaptability and resilience natin. Mas may grit tayo, mas may agility tayo. And it helps improve our problem-solving skills. Mas creative tayo, mas resourceful tayo, kasi we are not put in a box. And lastly, there's greater sense of purpose and meaning. Aligned tayo sa values natin at sa gusto nating ma-achieve sa buhay natin. And earlier, I was saying that ideally, the organization can lead effective change, and we do that in human dynamic with these 3 steps. So first, it's visioning. We make sure that as individuals or as leaders, you're able to clarify ano ba yung gusto nyo change na mangyari, ano yung magiging strategiya, ano yung magiging values na gusto nyo bago, ano magiging kind of culture na gusto nyo. At pangalawa, how are we able to communicate all these new things strategically, clearly, and as effectively as possible, and as early even as possible, diba? We want to over-communicate so as not to make people feel at lost sa mga nangyayari. And lastly, we build anti-fragility teams, or we build the resilience of individuals. And that's what we are doing in this session, diba? We are helping you build skills and knowledge and perspectives that helps you be more resilient in times of change, to be able to thrive in times of change, which hopefully allows you to embrace changes that comes in the future in your workplace. And so lastly, I believe, no, not yet. So how are you as a leaders navigate change? How do you see your leaders lead change? So we are on the last 4 slides. So maybe we can have just a couple sharing. Meron ba kayong quick idea or quick thought kung ikaw ay isang leader, or kung napansin mo ang leader mo, how are they leading change? So some lead by example, some are proactive. Wow, very great 2 first answers. Some are reliable, empathetic, diba? They lead by influence. They're considerate and they walk the talk. Okay. Thank you so much. And they are role models, or you are role models to your team. There's collaboration. Okay. I would like to share that, lalo na kapag leaders kayo, that when you are visible, when you are visibly committed to change, whether through your words or your actions, it sends a message to your team that change is important, and that they should support it. Meaning that change will be valuable and helpful and relevant to them as well, at hindi simpleng management's decision that gets cascaded down, right? That change is good for everyone. And that communication, that change is valuable and helpful to these individual employees, will be rooted or founded in the leaders and how they will be communicated to them. So I hope that those things that you shared earlier are things that, again, you are practicing on your own. So on this slide, in building our culture of change for holistic employee wellness, I would encourage you to rank these items in order of importance to you. Una ba na dapat communication muna? O dapat involved muna kayo kahit wala pa klarong i-communicate? Or dapat may training and support na agad? Or resistance and low morale, dapat yun muna ang bigyan pansin. Okay, so what we are seeing now is that training and support are provided. Is tying up with communication is clear and transparent. All right. So in fact, there is no right rank to these items, but all these 4 things are of equal importance, meaning lahat ng 4 na ito ay dapat mabigyan pansin ng isang organization so that there is a better chance of being able to navigate through change effectively, and that no one is left behind. For some, maybe you can take note of what is most important to you so that once you find yourself in that middle of change, you're able to take note of yung need na kailangan mo. Very great sharing from everyone. We really appreciate your thoughts, your insights, but most importantly, yung openness and transparency nyo, no? Nakita ko yung candor nyo, the way you're able to execute and really embody the traits that we all shared earlier. So in a nutshell, everyone, By enabling a culture of change, we become individuals with good health and well-being. Hence, we become a strong backbone of a successful and dynamic workplace. And we do that by having this holistic wellness as a vital part in a dynamic and thriving workplace, and by observing the six cultural dimensions of well-being, which enables a healthy mental and emotional climate. And lastly, by embracing change, we are able to have that good health and well-being as individuals. So just a quick sharing. If there is one thing that you are willing to change for better health and well-being at the workplace today, after our session, what would be that one thing? So ito yung commitment natin, ang call to action natin. So for some, you can share it here on our Mentimeter. For some, they can share it sa chat. Okay, some are sharing mindset. Someone said procrastination, being honest, being soft-hearted, being forgiving, having teamwork, communication. All right. This is a really great start, and I hope that lahat tayo, we are able to point out that one thing that we are willing to change sa sarili natin. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you're able to take good note of these things that you've shared. This is a good wrap up for our session this afternoon. I hope that you are able to learn today, as I have learned from all your sharing as well. I'm inspired by all the things that you've mentioned earlier. I hope na tayo ay makita natin na we are in a workplace that is on the way of having that wellness culture, diba? So that we are all happy and thriving. So again, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. For those who might be interested, allow me to share with you our upcoming event in Human Dynamic Philippines. So this is actually in November 23 na, in around 2 weeks time. So if you have the time and the space to learn with us, please feel free to take note. So we have our email address here and our mobile number so that you can reach out to us. All right, so let me pass over the mic to Bella and Ria for some announcements or Q&A perhaps. All right, maraming salamat.
Thank you po. I'll just share my screen.
Thank you. Grabe, napaka enriched yung discussion natin for this afternoon. Grabe. Maraming salamat po, Miss Lian, for the wonderful session. And I'm pretty sure our participants, marami din po silang napulot as much as I have and really enjoyed. Especially for me, talagang tumatak po sa akin yung importance ng psychological safety, ganyan, yung being an includer, kasi it all starts with that, para nga magkaroon ng, para ma-foster yung culture of change that we want to aspire. So again, thank you so much everyone. No, I know we are running a little bit late ngayon, kaya thank you so much for still staying. We might have to pivot lang quickly. So with this po, of course, again, thank you so much, Ms. Lian. And because of that, we would like to give you this certificate of appreciation. So the certificate is issued to Lian Dio for generously providing their time and expertise as a resource speaker for the webinar Wellness and the Culture of Change, a Key to Successful Workplaces, signed by John Baluyot and Nikki Vergara. So thank you so much, Ms. Lian and everyone, for being so participative this afternoon. So Bella, you might want to announce kung paano nga ba nila makukuha yung e-certificate nila.
Yes, thanks, Ria. So we're pivoting lang ngayon. Sobrang full kasi yung discussion natin kanina. Thank you so much for facilitating, Miss Lian. Pero we can still have our Q&A afterwards na. So ngayon, if gusto niyo panoorin ulit yung webinar na ito, we actually have all the recordings of our Wednesday free webinars on our YouTube channel. So just go over to Positive Workplaces YouTube channel, or I'll just place this sa chat. Oops, Riga, if you can place the link sa chat. We will place the link of Positive Workplaces YouTube channel sa chat para mapanood niyo yung recording ng webinar na ito. Ayun. Also, we have another webinar next week. Yung speaker si Miss Mia Lim. She's the founder of Unwind Consulting Inc. And yung topic niya next week will be Navigating Compassionate Layoffs, Balancing Empathy and Fairness. Ayan. There you go. If you want Positive Workplaces to have learning sessions for you, we can also do learning sessions for your company, for your school, your organization. Just reach out to us at thrive@positiveworkplaces.org. So makakausap ninyo si Alma, siya yung nasa photo, siya yung aming Wellbeing Services Officer.
Yeah, and of course, please don't forget to follow us on Facebook kasi marami po kaming announcements there. So, see you!
Okay, ito yung pinakaantay ng lahat. Regarding everyone's certificates of participation, ito na yung QR code for today's webinar evaluation form. Also, there's the evaluation form link. A few reminders lang, you need to fill out and submit an evaluation form para mabigyan po kayo ng e-certificate. Also, please double check your emails and names kasi di na papalitan yung spelling ng names ninyo when we send out the e-certificates. Ayan. So we have the evaluation form link on the chat. I think we can proceed now sa Q&A habang nabigay na namin yung evaluation link. Siguro, Rio, I'll just place muna the Pigeonhole link sa chat. Saglit.
Yes. Maybe to those who can stay for a while, if you have any questions, feel free to chat them na while others are still answering their evaluation form. But since medyo nag-overtime na po tayo, you can also proceed to your business, ayan, after this.
If anyone wants to stay, kung gusto pa ninyo mag-Q&A tayo with Miss Lian, pwedeng-pwede po. So we can, I placed the Pigeonhole link na sa chat. Ayun. So Miss Lian, sobrang full po yung discussion natin kanina. Very much na kailangan natin mag-pivot. So habang nag-aantay tayo ng questions sa Pigeonhole, I would like to share din yung personal insight ko po kanina. Sobrang nagustuhan ko po yung na-share ninyo yung trustworthiness, yung 3 factors. Ability, integrity, and benevolence. Yun po yung sobrang nag-stick sa akin. Yan. And also, yung pagsabi din po ninyo ng psychological safety and community. Parang, when you're in a community with similar goals, if your values and purposes are aligned with the group, mas ramdam ninyo yung role mo in the community. Although feeling ko, finding a purpose isn't only at work, it's also possible sa hobbies natin, I believe. Kasi hobbies natin, communities din sila.
I agree. Thank you, Bella.
Yeah.
Ano hobbies yan, Bella?
Anyone having problems with the evaluation form link? Are you guys all good? All good. Thank you, Angelo. Sige, let me check if may questions. Meron na tayong questions sa Q&A. Sige, I'll just stop sharing this one. And I'll share. For anyone who still wanna participate in the Q&A, you can join us by submitting your questions sa Pigeonhole link.
I think we have a question here. So our first question is what to do if you are with your 7 years relationship. It's been 5 months na. Same unit and job description. How can be in my healthy and well-being? So maybe Miss Lian, you could share some insights.
Yes. Thank you, Ria. I'm trying to understand whether it's 7 years or 5 months in the work, or it's both the relationship and the work yung problem.
Maybe to
But
someone who asked, we could clarify.
yeah.
And maybe we could proceed muna to the other question. If
Okay,
ever.
can.
Thank you so much.
I'll go back to the other question. Ayan yung bumalik. Saglit lang. Mark, let's answer na.
Thank you so
Ayan.
much.
Ito na lang siguro for now. Saglit lang. Guys, you can upvote the questions that you want Miss Lian to answer. Also, feel free to still join us sa Q&A. I'll ask this one. I work as a training staff. So my work is to train my co-employees about a specific topic, but we are in a very new management. My question is, how can I be impactful?
Thank you, Renz. What first thing came to mind, no? Initial thought is your genuineness in wanting to help your employees or co-employees improve in their own job. I would say na makikita nila yung authenticity mo sa wanting to help them grow and develop sa trabaho nila. And once that gets translated and communicated to these co-employees, I would say na they are more cooperative and collaborative to the programs that you would want. And I think that goes with the new management as well. If they see your dedication and commitment, diba, to the work that you want to do, yeah, I would say na more or less they will be more likely rather they will be supportive of your program and your initiatives.
I agree. Sige. Ayan, dumadami na yung questions natin. Guys, you can upvote yung questions na gusto ninyong sagutin ni Miss Lian. Mas mabilis matanong yung question pag top voted siya. So, kung meron din pa kayo Miss Lian question na gustong sagutin, sabihan niyo lang po ako. Let's answer this one. Trust is still an issue with my company despite having proven to them my integrity, benevolence, and ability. Pero ngayon, I've been feeling I'm being pushed in the corner. Is it worth it to stay?
Since I don't know, thank you, Anonymous. Since I don't know any other contextual details, no, but just basing on these statement, I would say na it is not worth to stay only because they are not respectful and they are not being grateful to your presence, to your individuality, and to what you can bring to the table. And lalo na you've proven your integrity, benevolence, and ability, I would say that you have the advantage, right? Because you have all these things, and yet they are not able to reciprocate back itong value na ibinibigay mo sa kanila. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss Lian. I think we also have another question regarding change of culture. I think that's very interesting. So maybe Bella, we could also bring
This
that
one,
up.
the second
Yes.
one. I want to change the culture of our organization. How can I do this if the org leaders are hesitant about change? Okay.
Thank you, Bella and Ria. Thank you for this person who asked. No? I would say that there's a lot of people who would want this kind of change, diba? But they find their leaders to be hesitant to change. And sadly, that's the reality that we find ourselves in. Kasi siguro, we are young and hopeful and we want to do good change, diba? But as much as we want to help foster a healthy culture or a better culture. In reality, I would say it's really difficult to do it on our own. I would say it's possible, but it might take quite a long time and quite a lot of resources. Ang pinaka-wise thing to do is to have that support or a small group of people that can rally together with you. No? It doesn't have to be the top management, the top leaders, but a group of people that can strongly rally for this change that you would want.
Yes. Thank you for that, Miss Lian. This one, I like this one. How can I balance being a compassionate leader yet being able to deliver results?
Mm. Probably what I can share is your way of communication, right? I think there's no problem at all with being hard driven with the results we want to achieve. It just boils down, diba, to the way we communicate to our team na paano ba natin ma-achieve yung results or bakit ba natin hindi na-achieve results, diba? Whatever the content we are communicating, I would say regardless of the content, the way we are communicating, that would show yung compassion natin, yung kindness natin, yung kabutihan ng loob natin sa ating mga teammates.
Also, I feel, Miss Lian, if I can share my
Of course.
personal opinion only. Sometimes I feel hindi rin naman kasi siya kasalanan ng leader. Baka kasi yung subordinate or yung employee baka may pinagdadaanan din. Kaya
Mhm.
siya as productive as kung yung expectations ng leader hindi naaabot kasi baka may pinagdadaanan din yung employee. Ganun.
That's a good point, Bella, no? Kasi when you mentioned about baka may ibang pinagdadaanan, doon papasok yung kahalagahan ng relationship natin sa colleagues natin, di ba? We will never know how to be of help or be of support or how to communicate to this person kung hindi natin alam yung pinagdadaanan niya outside of work.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you, Bella.
May question po ba kayo na gusto nyong tanungin?
Any na lang, Bella, you go ahead with Ria and choose.
Ito, how to deal with people who see my integrity negatively. Siguro this can be the last question na. It's almost 5 p.m. na kasi. How to deal with people who see my integrity negatively and stay away sa situation where majority thinks it's okay and normal.
Maybe I can answer the first part, no? I'm confused na a bit sa latter. How to deal with people who sees my integrity negatively? I would say that my first thought is these people are doubtful to be with. Kasi when we say integrity, we assume na it's good, di ba? May integridad ang isang tao. Meaning, kahit walang nakatingin, tama yung ginagawa niya, di ba? Aligned with the values that he has or she has, aligned with the words and actions. But then if people see that negatively, then maybe the problem lies with those people and not with you.
Thank you for that, Miss Lian. Okay, it's almost 5 p.m. Thank you everyone for staying. I'll be sending ulit the evaluation form link for the last time sa mga gustong humabol. And I'll just play the background music. We will close the Zoom room in a few minutes. So, thank you. Thank you for joining us again. Miss Lian, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Facilitating the discussion and the webinar kanina. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone.
you.